I miss like a girl Taurus in my life. Don't have many of those.
Yeah, because they're much better than the Taurus men. Hey, babies. It's episode
6.
Oh, my God.
We're still in this bitch. We're still going
we're still
strong.
in this bitch.
Giving no fucks.
Giving no fucks.
Talking about astrology.
Being
stupid.
The usual,
The
you
usual.
know? The same old.
Same old.
So, today...
You're wearing sunglasses.
Yes, not the whole time, though.
Oh. She has a dramatic moment planned to take them off.
I just need to, like, give the drama because
She's in her feels today.
Yeah, this is how I feel.
This is how she feels.
This is how I feel on the inside. Oh, wait. That's a Logic reference. I don't know if anybody knows.
I don't think I know
Maybe.
what that is.
Woo. So, today is really fun.
Today's really fun.
Because last week we had our friend Amber on.
Mm-hmm. That was a good time.
It was a great time. We love talking to our friends about astrology.
I feel like it was just such a good combo. Like,
yeah.
we're on to week 2 of guests.
Yeah, we can like keep talking to our friends.
Today has been a morning.
Yeah.
So we decided not to drink alcohol because it was Vanessa, our roommate's birthday 2 days ago. And let's just say the cops were called.
The cops showed up at 3 a.m.
At 3 a.m. and we did things we can't speak on YouTube.
Yes.
It's been a week and we decided alcohol might not be a good idea today. We need to detox the system.
So caffeine.
So no alcohol today, but we're still going to get into this incense vibe.
Yes, we are.
Because we love that shit.
Jasmine just reminds me of like when Lacey and I lived at the Grove and we were going fucking through it.
So, as we say in every episode, right, I'm a Gemini magnet.
Yes.
And this is one of my fave Geminis. She and I work together. We're coworkers. We work at a studio in Orange County together.
Mm-hmm.
I love working with Geminis because they are multitaskers and they're quick.
They're
and
really good at like
getting
on
shit
top
done.
of it.
Yeah. I feel like the dynamic with me and a Gemini in a work environment is really
it's
vibing.
Good, yeah.
It's electric. And so getting to know her on that level, plus then like becoming such good friends with her and feeling like we really understand each other. She's just a fucking great bitch.
She really is.
It's so funny, like Taurus and Geminis are not compatible, but you get along with all of my Gemini friends.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with any of your Gemini friends, which is really like surprising.
Yeah, but I think like it's all the other placements in their chart.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
before meeting any of your friends, my experience with Geminis was really like, I can tell when you're not actually like saying what you feel, you're just saying what you think people want to hear.
Totally.
And I don't like that because
I will
let a bitch know. But all of your friends are great.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of the Geminis that you have brought me around.
I love like the fun side of Geminis. Like they're just so crazy and fun and
down for whatever. That mutable energy.
Dude, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that shit.
Yeah, it's great. And so is Jasmine.
I know, it smells fucking great today. Ooh. So should we introduce Marissa?
Yeah, give it up for Marissa.
Marissa, come to the fucking screen. Why did that become a thing?
Why do we do that all the time now?
And Miss Marissa.
Marissa, you gotta do it too.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought I was just lip syncing. Let's go again.
From the top, ready?
That felt great.
How are you? How are you doing?
This was making my day. I looked forward to this all day. I'm not kidding. Actually, when you guys called me, I was so excited.
Aww. Well, we were excited too because I feel I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
been a minute.
Been here in a minute.
Yeah, what the fuck, Marissa?
You know?
Yeah, think about that.
I have nothing to say. Like, you're right. I get it.
She's like, you called me out. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
She said I'm right.
Change.
That's all I need to hear.
Yeah, I'll take that one. Cheers.
But I miss you.
I miss you too. Oh my goodness. I miss like a girl Taurus in my life. Don't have many of those.
Yeah, because they're much better than the Taurus men.
Oh my God.
I feel like I kind of know how you feel about astrology, but for anyone who doesn't know, like, do you believe in it? Like, where did you hear about astrology? Like,
how did you get into it?
are you into it?
Like, I believe in it. I do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Christian. Like, I grew up Christian. I actually grew up Catholic and then Christian schools
Yeah.
and then, like, stuff like that. And so I remember, like, my high school coach, weirdly odd, I played basketball. So my high school coach was like, "You're a Gemini and you're two-faced." And it was very rude. And I was like in a rude way. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I know she doesn't like me, but oh, cool." Like, I was kind of like turned off to it.
What the hell?
Yeah. I was like, ouch. And then I like re-explored it because some of my friends were into it on my team. And I remember looking at a horoscope and like reading it to my mom. And my mom was like, "Marissa, that is witchcraft." And I was like, "What?"
That sounds like my mom.
Yeah, she was like, "That's witchcraft." And I was like, "Mom, I'm not like casting spells. I'm like, I'm reading energy."
Making potions in my cauldron.
Yeah, like,
what zodiac sign am I?
I had a roommate in college who was very into it and like printed out 20 pages of my birth chart.
Lord.
Went in, I would do something and she'd be like, "Oh, Gemini."
Oh my god. So she sounds like us.
She's us.
So then I kind of got into it then more. And then, you know, I met Lacey and of course, like from there on it's taken off. But like I appreciate it more. Like
all I do is talk about it.
Yeah. And like I like knowing people's energy. Like I love being able to relate to people as like that's a very common characteristic. So if that's one way that I can, then great. Then I can kind of know a little bit more about them. But even then when someone's like, "Oh, I'm a whatever, I'm this sign," I still don't know enough about it to make those judgments yet. But I love learning about it. So that's why I was like, yeah, this is cool. This is a vibe, but I'm not like too deep in it yet, you know?
You're like open to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm open to learning about it. If someone says this matches my characteristic, I'll research and be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Usually it does.
So what you're saying is like you've noticed that it helps you understand like your friends better, and then as you read it, you feel like it's accurate.
Yeah, I definitely do. And like there's been times where I'm like, okay, is this thing just like I think it's called Barton statements or something like in psychology where
What's
like
that?
it tells you what you want to hear.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so then you believe it or something. And so I was like, maybe it's like a little bit of that. And then, you know, I kept like looking into it and I was like, well, I mean, this all makes sense and there's no like harm in like believing in it. So it's like, why not, you know?
You know, obviously like actually doing something like casting a spell or like any sort of witchcraft, that's like a personal like journey, and like also at the same time you kind of have to have a gift for it or something. Whereas astrology has nothing to do with that. Really, it's just like this blueprint to your personality.
Yeah, it's just a science.
Yeah, exactly. And I've like appreciated that. You know, I love learning things. I love like being around that. So like that's why I was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny it.
Do you feel like it's helped you in your relationship knowing that you're a Gemini and he's a Taurus? Do you feel like you're able to understand like maybe why he is the way he is?
100%. Like it's actually helped me understand every relationship more. Like, as I was raised by 2 Capricorns, and I just realized that recently.
Her
like,
brother's a Taurus too. She's surrounded by earth signs just like me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like my other brother just had so he's Pisces, pretty sure. So like I have a lot of like different energies. So like I've always really
Gemini.
appreciated knowing like where I'm at, and I've obviously changed the face every single time I walk through that door. Definitely it has helped a lot in my relationships, but it makes me also understand like my current, like my romantic relationship a lot better. And I want to understand that person too. Like any person I'm with, I really want to understand them so I can have a conversation with them and have connections. I love deep connections. So
that's so Gemini.
Air sign too. Like
and you have a Mercury.
And you have a Mercury. Listen, we all do.
And you have a Gemini Mercury too.
And a Gemini Mars.
And a Mars.
You're like, you have a lot of Gemini going on. We'll just go through the whole birth chart. Okay, so she has a Gemini sun, a Scorpio moon, a Leo rising, a Gemini Mercury, a Gemini Mars, a Taurus Venus, a Pisces Jupiter, an Aries Saturn, Aquarius Neptune, Aquarius Uranus, Sagittarius Pluto, and that's the chart.
there's my chart.
You have every element in your chart.
A lot of your big, what is it, 5 or 6?
Big 6, I think.
It's like every
element.
And I can honestly say, like, I feel that. I feel it. Like, it's honestly, like, really difficult. And not to be, like, self-centered or anything, but
no,
I always feel like I'm contradicting myself all the time with anything I say or do. Like, I feel like I lack so much consistency in my emotions and, like, my every day-to-day life. It bothers me because everyone else around me is so consistent and I can't find that consistency. So when I came like to astrology, I've learned to like more like embrace it. like embrace the fact that I'm never going to find that. Before I hated it. I hated that I wasn't like that. But with astrology, it's actually helped me accept who I am a little bit more. Ew, that was gross. I can't believe I just said that. But like it actually has, like I feel so much more
detached
emotions. Fine.
Anytime me and Marissa are talking about feelings, we're like, dude, that's fucking disgusting. Like literally gross. Ew.
I used to cringe at saying like
she's like gagging, like can't even get it out now.
I used to hate saying I love you. Like when I was younger, I couldn't even say it. Like it's weird. When I was younger, I was such an awkward kid, but like when it would come out of my mouth, I'd be like, like I really want to say that to like my family. I have my best friends are Geminis, and I couldn't even say like that to them until I was, older. Emotion, weird for me.
Interesting, because you have a Scorpio moon.
Your sun is like your conscious self, your ego, who you identify yourself with, and then your moon is like your subconscious self, who you are when you're alone, who you are in your head, like all that stuff. Scorpios are like so secretive, and so it's almost like the fact that you don't know how to deal with your feelings, and then you're also like secretive about them. And Geminis know how to put on that face to make it seem like everything's fine. You probably constantly feel like you are putting on a show, and you have a Leo rising, and Leos do put on show, like they are dramatic.
They love to put on.
Oh yeah, I'm dramatic as hell.
Girl, I feel I have a Leo moon.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I have to constantly tell myself, Marissa, it's not that deep. It's not it. And today's not it. We're not doing that today, But yeah, the Scorpio moon secretive thing, I feel that. And you know what? People have started to notice that I'm secretive, and I don't like that. I hate that. Someone called me out for it the other day, a Cancer actually. And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, you have a lot of like secrets. And I was like, don't say that. Like, you're not allowed to know that.
You don't get to know that.
Yeah, excuse me.
I literally stopped talking to him for like 5 days.
She's like,
went speechless.
Yeah. She's like, bye.
No comment.
Yeah. And I think those thoughts, the Scorpio, like secretive thoughts actually kind of scare me a bit, because I know I would never tell a soul like I'm taking all of them to the grave, but they're very intense emotions. That's why I put them into like a lot into songwriting, and I'll even then it's like covering it up, with happy melodies and lyrics.
Yeah, it's like sugarcoating it.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd ever really tell anyone. Like the reason I put on that face is because I don't want to bother anyone really with those emotions or like feelings.
I feel like this is typical, like definitely air sign energy, but specifically Gemini energy. Air signs in general don't want the bad vibes. Like we don't like bad vibes. We want everything to stay good and chill and peaceful. So there's the cardinal air sign Libra, the mutable air sign Gemini, and then the fixed air sign Aquarius. So Aquariuses will do their own thing if they're like feeling weird vibes in a setting. Libras will kind of like take control of the situation to make sure it works out, but Geminis will fully just like
they'll be chameleon. Like chameleon. Yeah, they'll like blend into that energy
to keep the vibes good. But it also gets to a point where I'm sure being a Scorpio moon, having those super deep feelings, I'm sure it really bothers you when you're alone, like,
and on the surface all the time.
Yeah, like you never feel like you're getting like deep with people.
Yeah, and there's like very few people that I can get deep with.
Yeah,
and those people mean a lot to me, and I feel so
connected
and loyal to them. Like I will do anything for those.
She's such a loyal Gemini. Out of all the Geminis I know, she's like
Scorpio moon.
Loyal.
Yeah, and the Leo rising, you have like 2 fixed placements in your big 3.
Yeah, no, I feel that too. Like I feel like I'm extremely loyal to like the people I'm around. I grew up on teams too, so like if there's like a team or person that needed help, I'm like, okay, like I got you. What do you need? Do you need to stay at my house? Do you need a meal? Like I'd drop, even for my boyfriend now, he even told me that. He was like, it's actually a little crazy how much you do that. Like I'd drop anything if someone was, not okay.
That's because you're a real one.
I also feel like in terms of like keeping the good vibes, like I do anything to make sure everyone feels comfortable. It bothers me. Like I don't like when someone feels like left out or uncomfortable. I will sacrifice the face that I wanted to wear when I came into the party and change it so that they feel comfortable. I care for that a lot for some reason.
Yeah. That could be the Leo too. Leo placements have like, they feel like an obligation to bring the light to the situation or to like cheer somebody up and make people happy. They entertain.
They almost feel it's like their duty.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like an obligation to them.
Oh yeah. I do feel that, like a lot of obligation. And I also like enjoy it too. Like I enjoy hosting parties and having people over and make them feel at home. Like Lacey, when Lacey comes over, this is her home, and my mom's always been like that too. The front door is always open. I like it though.
I guess we should also talk about how we met. We met at work. But, selfishly, like what was your first impression of me?
Oh my gosh. I actually was thinking about this when I was thinking about how we met.
Because we both have fire risings. You have a Leo rising and I have an Aries rising. So we both come across like fired up.
Yeah, no, I remember like I had a session with someone and then I had a break and then Lacey was recording someone else. And like in the middle of the recording, I'm like tired and I'm like going out to like take a break. And then she like taps on the window. She's like, come inside. And I was like, I didn't even know this girl. Like, what? And then like I just went in that room. I felt like I knew Lacey for like the longest time. Immediately clicked. We just, we spilled some tea. Like we just did everything. We just immediately clicked for some reason. Then on, it's always been like, oh, you want to come over? Like nothing. It's just like one of those very like easy connections. And I think it has a lot to do with Lacey too. Just super easy person to get along with. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, she's wifey.
We talk about it. Yeah. Like, great conversationalist. And like, I just felt for some reason, like I don't feel comfortable with a lot of people and like telling them things about my life already, obviously. But, with the first couple times I hung out with Lacey, like for some reason I felt comfortable there and like, okay. Yeah. Even when I went to your guys' like place, I felt, cool.
That's awesome. So we clicked whenever we first met.
And Gemini magnet, so.
True.
Yes,
true.
We have mentioned.
Yeah. I feel like the reason why I personally like really liked you right away was we had been talking via text for a while because for people that don't know, she's my boss's assistant. So like all the scheduling for sessions and everything, like Marissa and I communicate with that, with invoices and like all that stuff. So we directly work together. Like I'm not even texting my boss, I'm texting you for all this stuff. But I noticed because you were newly hired, how organized you were and how on point you were and how hard of a worker you were. And that to me is like mad respect in a work environment specifically. And so, yeah, I have a Leo Mars and she has a Gemini Mars. So in that work environment, my pride is in my work. I identify myself with like the way that I am in work. So like I put a lot of energy into it because it's like my reputation in my mind.
Yeah.
Whereas like I see other people putting a lot of energy into their work. It's like, oh my God, fucking finally. Like I'm, especially in LA, like there's so many fucking lazy people here. I don't understand. Like my parents are like from the Midwest. I'm from the South. Like you work fucking hard for your bread. And like people out here just have money and they don't know what to do with their fucking time. But immediately I was like, I think I was telling you about it. I was like, Thomas has this assistant and I fucking love her. All of our text conversation, I was like, I've never met this girl, but like she's on point.
She's on it.
She's on it. Like everything's getting taken care of. There's all these loose ends that I was always worried about that you were handling. I've just always respected your work ethic. And I think you're a fucking gem, little Gemini.
Respect for the work ethic. We love that.
Because Geminis are like multitaskers. Oh, yeah. They can handle a lot of things at once.
They want to be like everywhere at once.
Matter of fact, they love it.
Yeah. They love being everywhere at once. And they wish that their physical body could be everywhere at once, but it can't.
God,
yes. So they're mentally everywhere at once.
Yes, 100. I wish I could show you guys my planner. It's completely color coded, organized. I have like 4 or 5 jobs. Every color is a different job, and I just love it. I love it.
Of course, pursuing multiple things at once because you can't get bored.
I love stimulation for my brain. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Her mom is a Gemini too. Her mom she
went to school like 3 times. How are you in education? Like,
oh my God,
Geminis love school.
She's a fucking scholar.
They like achieving.
I do like achieving. School I had to work very hard at it because I had 2 brothers who were like extremely just naturally like read a book, take the test. Don't need to study. And then like for me, the bar was set high for me when I was doing education and like at school, and I went to the same school as them. So everyone kind of knew that like, they were there. And so I actually always kind of hated it because like it's always been like a lot of pressure. I'm good at school, but I really have to work hard at it. And I don't mind putting in the work because if I get an A, that's worth it. And so when I was in high school, I worked my ass off. I did a lot of AP and IB credits to the point where I got to graduate early from Chapman. I absolutely loved learning. Like I was almost going to double major, but then I was like, what am I doing? I don't want to be a scholar. I want to be a musician. That's why I'm getting out early. I had a minor that was creative and cultural industries, and that's so broad. And I loved how broad it was because we were learning about everything, like anything and everything.
You're just learning a bunch of fucking shit.
Yeah, and I loved it. I know the weirdest things, and I absolutely love that.
Geminis know all these little facts about all the random things.
Yeah, I do. I love I was about to do psychology, and then I stopped because it kind of got boring, which is weird. And so I just started. I went back to my other minor. Like I just have always loved that. But in terms of like school and like I had to work hard and then it became easy. Like in college was kind of easier actually than high school was because I would, knock out a paper. I started like a little business where like I was doing people's papers. I just was making money off of people's papers. So like
that's fucking amazing.
Any subject. I did sports history. I did like a couple food science papers, just like random stuff. It was usually the same topic that I'd already studied. So like I'd kind of already known about it. I didn't make that much, but there was a time where I was like, wow, I could really thrive in this, but if I get caught, I'm screwed. Hopefully don't take away my bachelorate.
No.
Bachelor's degree.
No, but you didn't. If anything, they would take away the other people's.
Yeah, they didn't do the work.
Yeah, you did the work.
Yeah,
you should get extra
and
credit.
Also,
in my
just
opinion.
yeah. They should be like, oh, you get another degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just helping them with their paper. Yeah. I was being a good student. Go Panthers.
Oh my God, that was my high school's mascot.
Oh, it's brutal. There's definitely like a lot of like kids with money at Chapman. So I capitalized on that.
Good,
like,
good for you.
Good for you.
Because why not?
And you know what's so crazy? Going from working with you to getting to know you on like a friendship level. She's a whole new bitch, not at work. She's a whole new bitch. I'll never forget that time when I came to your house.
Oh,
and like you seem so like professional and collected at work. Your first impressions of people, like it really makes you feel like people are a certain way. And then at home, our conversation was so like bam, 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 like in all these different places.
Scattered, like a classic air sign conversation.
And I fucking loved it. I was like, I love this bitch. This bitch is so much more than my coworker. Like, Marissa, I have never seen you like this, and where the fuck has she been? Because I love her.
Oh, yeah. She's there. Yeah, you just gotta.
And I feel like you come across as such like a sweet, like innocent, like scholar, like, and she's crazy. And it's so insane because out of all of the signs in the zodiac, Gemini and Scorpio are most known for being like the crazy ones. Gemini's your sun and Scorpio's your moon. And so people don't really see that because you put on that like adaptive energy that's like people aren't ready for this crazy.
That's why I put those phases on, because I feel like they're not ready. And so I'm like, okay. But then I felt Lacey was ready. And like, it's funny because, I used to have that energy all the time with my teammates in high school.
Totally.
Just nuts. We were totally sober, completely sober, but we were wild. And it'd be like, we were acting like we were drunk or something, like, and there was like a party and we're like shaking our asses and everything. And I'm like,
it's so fun.
Like, it's so fun.
Sounds like our night the other night.
And I have good connections with those people. That's all I care about to have. Like, and that's why I felt comfortable enough to do that stuff, like to talk to them about things, to dance, to like be who I actually am. I definitely just think it depends on like the comfortability with some people.
Totally.
But then again, if I like go to a party where I'm like, I don't know anyone here,
you're gonna make friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna make friends, or I'm not gonna make friends, and I'm just gonna have fun by myself.
It's the Scorpio moon. Like, gotta make sure that they're trustworthy enough or like worth your time to let them in.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I don't let a lot of people in. And I think also like being raised by two Capricorns, I literally would walk into places and my mom, like when I was younger, she'd be holding my hand and she'd be like, did you say good morning? And I'd be like, no. Okay, say good morning. Okay, good morning.
Structure, Capricorn structure.
And then I'd walk with her. Oh, good morning. Buenos dias. And then like keep going. I just feel like if I didn't have that structure placed upon me, then maybe that side would show a little bit more. But I mean, with school, I wasn't allowed to get B's. I had to make my bed every morning, and I still do because of it. I have a planner. And I've had one since I was 10. And so like I still have one and I'm 22, like all that structure, I think from that Capricorn energy, from the earth sign energy, like it does weigh on me a lot. So that's why like I even feel more than maybe the average person with those moons and suns, It's definitely a crazy sign to have because when you do let loose, it feels good.
Feels great.
When you're in an environment that you feel like you can trust, then it's like a good time for you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like I have my best friend, like I said, she's a Gemini. Every time I go to her house, for some reason, I just feel like I'm taking like a really heavy coat off. And I'm just like, yes.
She's taking the faces off.
Yeah, the mask is coming off.
Yeah, and like they've only seen that side to me too. So they're like, oh, there's Marissa.
And we love her.
Yeah, we love Marissa. We have a big 3 Leo placements, Marissa. And that makes us...
And Scorpio in your big 3.
Oh yeah, we both have Scorpio and Leo in our big 3.
God, yes, Alyssa. I vibe with Alyssa too. Can I just say, my first impression of Alyssa was just as great. I remember she was first texting Spencer when we first like met.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, we were first talking. tracking.
We just vibes too. Yeah, so that's probably what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. You have the Leo rising and the Scorpio moon. You also have like Taurus in your chart too with your Taurus moon. There's like kind of, and I know this from personal experience, that my Leo placement really contradicts my Scorpio placement. And I'm wondering if you feel like the same. Like your Leo rising, it comes off very like confident and like self-assured and fun and all this stuff. I feel like a Leo rising probably feels kind of like the need to prove themselves in a sense to people they first meet. So when do you like stop caring? Like when do you dip into that Gemini sun and like Scorpio moon when you meet people? Like what point do you feel comfortable to stop being that like Leo rising?
I can only put it in like an example. When I played basketball, I've been playing basketball since I was like 3, and around teammates and around pickup games with men, like at 24, like anytime, I feel very confident there. I feel very comfortable. I've never had to change who I am on the basketball court. Just like, I am who I am, and I'm going to be here, and I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to leave. And so I've always felt that with maybe just like sports and athletics in general. And then like, at work and with music. I've been doing music for a while, but like even then I still get very like intimidated, honestly, to the point where I do conform and like change a little bit and put on this different side of myself. But when I'm making art, like when I'm painting or when I'm creating, I'm like, okay, we can be a little more Marissa here. But
I feel like that's her Scorpio moon.
Yeah, so you feel like you can let go of your Leo rising when you're in an environment with your passions, like
and with Geminis too. Like if I'm around Geminis, usually
that it comes out.
It comes out too, where I'm like, these people know me for some reason. They know me. But a lot of time it's like, turn it off.
I feel that way with Libra placements too. I just like get them.
Yeah. It's definitely so like contradictory though, because then I go to bed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did I act that way? Like, why did I change?
Yeah.
Girl, I feel that.
Yeah. And then like, it's funny because even one of my friends from high school, we just rekindled. She's like, you know what I've always loved about you? Like, you've always been so true to yourself. Like, you've always been very,
that's
like,
the worst to hear when you're not feeling that.
And then I was like, thank you so much. And then I was like, well, does she know I cry before I go to bed every night because I don't have that?
That's
like,
so Scorpio
funny.
Moon. Yeah.
So emotional, low key.
So high key, bro. Oh my God. I was like, I'm glad that it looks that way. I'm so glad it looks all together. But like,
yeah. Oh my God, it's not. We're all in that boat.
I think it's funny that our placements are like switched. So like you have a Leo rising and a Scorpio moon, and I have a Leo moon and a Scorpio rising. So we like approach those situations differently, or
almost
exactly
reversed.
opposite. Yeah. I'm so like closed off. I feel like almost especially if I like am around my passions, because like I feel somewhat like protective. If I don't know somebody, I'm like, I'm really protective of this. And then when I start to get to know people, I get more like Leo moon, like extra and confident and like all this stuff.
But maybe it's the other way
but
for
reverse
you.
For you. Yeah, you probably come off like really like, oh yeah, everything is fine. I'm a ray of sunshine. And then on the inside, you're like, I've got all these emotions and I don't trust any of y'all with it.
That's verbatim. Like that's
is so funny.
100%. Yeah. And like,
but I feel it.
Another big way that me and you connected was we have a lot of air in our chart, where like we have a lot of air, and our boyfriends are earth signs, and we are surrounded by earth signs. Like we attract earth signs. And I kind of feel like for me, the reason why I feel I attract earth signs is because I'm like a loud, rowdy, kind of wild energy, and earth signs are stable. Because I feel so all over the place, I feel like for me, the reason I attract so many earth signs is because they keep me grounded. There are sides of earth signs that bother me, like not you. You're specifically not this way because you're like my fucking best friend. It's a whole different situation. There is big talk on astrology pages about the earth and air connection because it doesn't necessarily make sense, but it keeps happening. And I feel like the reason why earth signs like us is because they are so stable and they love the free, like wild energy. I noticed that earth signs are super sarcastic and they have that dark humor that we love, and that friendship and that stability and that support, like all those things we love. But sometimes it can feel like pessimistic and it can feel a little like negative, right?
Yeah, 100% negative is the correct word. I mean, I do love the stability. If anyone's going to see me intimately or know like every part of me, then I need that. And I need to go back to a consistent basis where I can come home and I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to meet up with this person. I know exactly what I'm going to get. And it's not even as much like negative. Like I've always been ridiculed for my sensitivity. My sensitivity, and they used to call me Space Cadet. Okay.
Own that.
Fuck my
Own
family.
it. Yes, you
Yeah.
are a space cadet.
And
You
she
are
has a
out of
cute
this
ass space
world.
outfit on at all times.
I literally would cry. Like they would do it on purpose. They're so organized. They have all their shit together. So I was like, why can't I be like them? I've definitely found that in the person that I want to be with. Like I'm like, okay, I actually enjoy that because I'm everywhere, but I know that they can remind me and take me back a little bit. But sometimes I don't want them to hold me back. And I actually had to have a conversation with him. I was like, look, like I am this way and I'm not gonna change.
Totally.
And I'm not asking you to change me. I'm asking you to work with me. Keep me like grounded, but don't hold me down.
The thing is, you're dating a neighboring sign and you're also dating a fixed sign and you're mutable. You're adaptive. Tauruses are not adaptive.
It's really hard, and I know this from
Being
personal
a Taurus.
experience. It's really not easy to compromise. And I was going to mention this too. I was going to ask you guys, like, I know that with earth signs, they feel like they're right because they're very thoughtful and practical, and they want to make sure that they're making a good decision before they make it. And so I've definitely justified my behavior saying this before, but I feel like I am right. And I want you to be right too. And I can't compromise if I feel like I'm right. Like if we compromise, then what? I'm gonna let you be wrong. I'm gonna let myself be partially wrong too. With air signs, you guys are open-minded. You guys want to learn. You guys want to have conversation. And like earth signs are like, well, no, but I'm right. Case closed. And you guys are like, well, no, let's talk about this perspective and let's talk about this perspective. Yeah, let's explore it and have a conversation. And like, what do we think? Like,
like what are your thoughts? Like, let's connect on the fact that we have different thoughts.
Yeah, let's try to compromise. Right? Let's try to meet in the middle. Like
100%.
Air signs want to understand people and they, love people and they're like, let's like meet in the middle. I know that with Libra, you guys need balance.
Yeah.
It's got to be 50-50.
So when people tell me that, they're like, I'm right and you're wrong. I'm like, since when are you the judge of what's right and wrong? We're in this bitch together. That's where I get tripped up with any personality of that way because fire signs can be that way as well.
That's also so funny because you're a Libra and you're a cardinal sign and you also feel the need to like make decisions.
Totally. But I like to let people come in. Like I only
you
take
want
the
to
leader.
See the other perspective. It's an air sign thing.
Yeah. I only try to take an in charge position if I feel like
there is no direction.
There is no direction and someone needs someone to be the director and I can do that if we need. I can also sit back and let someone else be the director, but like if you need me to be the director, I can handle that.
So you have a Taurus Venus, so maybe you kind of feel this way too, but maybe not. Do you feel that earth signs are that way or your experience with earth signs are that way? And like, if so, how do you feel about it?
So I personally am not the best communicator because I think of my Scorpio. If I were to say it out loud, it's kind of weird to me. So like even when I feel a certain way, if I'm hurt, it's like, okay, like it's fine. I don't want anyone to feel that because I feel that way. So my communication has never been the best because then it gets to a point where it's like, we're about to break up. And then I'm like saying all these things that happened like 3 months ago. And then he's like, what? I had no idea you felt this way. Yeah. And I was like, well, I didn't want to ruin the good vibe.
I think that's your Gemini Mercury because Scorpio's a fixed sign. When it feels like it knows something, I think a Scorpio would say it. I think your Gemini
lash out about
or lash out. Yeah. Gemini's being that mutable sign and that typical people pleaser. Your Mercury is your communication and your thoughts and the way that you think. So I could see you thinking something like, well, I feel this way, but maybe I can't say it because I just want to keep the vibes good. And like, we don't need to talk about this. It's really not that big of a deal. I have no problem adapting. So let me just adjust myself to be cool with it. Whereas as a human in general, regardless of your sign, that's not healthy.
Definitely not. And I've realized that. And, went to therapy.
Yes, bitch. Like, us too. We're going to therapy.
Like, I realized, like, oh, like, we should talk about how I feel to the people we care about. And, like, obviously, I really care about my boyfriend. So when I do feel something now, it's like, okay, I'm going to say it because I don't want it to get bad. And that's actually going to keep better vibes than before. Definitely in terms of, like, communication-wise, he's very good at telling me everything he feels once it happens.
My earth sign boyfriend is the same way.
Yeah. We are honest.
To a fault, I would almost say.
And I think we're not honest enough. Like I think they're too honest and we're not honest enough. We both need to meet in the middle, but they don't fucking want to. If it's your significant other or someone that loves you, they should be considerate of how that honesty honesty would affect their feelings.
Yeah, actually, yeah, agreed.
Because you don't need to
be so blunt.
You don't need to be so blunt.
You can say
the
it.
edges. You can say it to where it's said respectfully.
Yeah, there's definitely a better way to say things, and like there's a better way to deliver it. And I've always told him that. And then like also when he tells me something, and then I'll tell him how that makes me feel, and then he'll be like, "Well, then fine. I just won't talk about that anymore. I won't tell you that anymore." And then I'm like, "Wait, no, that's not what I'm asking. I still want you to tell me. I still want you to be honest with me. But you're not right. You're not right about this topic because you don't know about it." It's very much like what Alyssa was saying. Like I am right, and it's like, well, yes, you can be right on topics that you know, but there's a lot of things that you don't know and you don't experience. So therefore you're actually probably not right in this scenario. Take a step back and try to like see where I'm coming from with this.
Yeah. You can be right, but like know when you're wrong.
And I also feel like air signs just want to learn more. Like we just want to be sponges and soak up everything and gain knowledge. Like actually, you know what? We could have been thinking this way our whole life and we could be wrong. Let's prove ourselves right.
And again, that's to a fault too, because it's like, what if there's those scenarios where like we have been doing this for a long time? We should be more confident. And that's why I do appreciate that side of him. Because he's like, you do know your shit, so own it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, babe. At the end of the day, they do push me because since I'm all over the place, like I remember there was one point where I was doing basketball, I was doing school, I was finishing an EP, I was doing modeling, and he was like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "What is your focus here?" At the end of the day, like a lot of that does go to music, but I do gotta finish school and I do gotta finish basketball, and I'm not gonna just like leave my team in the middle of a season. My primary goal is to be a musician, and so it's like for him, it's like, well, how? Like, how can you not only be doing one thing? Like, that's mind-blowing. And for me, it's like, I love it. I get to feel different things in different fields and then come back to myself at the end of the day and be happy because I was able to do all those things and experience all those things and connect with all those people. There's definitely a balance, but I do appreciate it more. Like, there's times where I really do love it because it's consistent.
Totally. It's stable.
It's stable. And I love that. But there's other times where I'm like, let's get rowdy. And he appreciates it too. Like when I first met him, he was like, I would have never done this spontaneous things. There's times where I've like literally just picked him up and I was like, let's go. And he'd be like, I never used to do that. I would never be spontaneous like that, but I love it. We do work out in this sense because I bring that side out of him and I'm like, let's go out. Let's do something. Same with me. When I'm like, let's do it. And he's like, okay, relax. Okay.
Yeah. Luke's always like, you're this like bottle of energy. Like you just always want to be vibing. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. Like I just want to be vibing. Like I just want to vibe out. I just want to like grow and like go wild and be free and like, but yeah, in a relationship, I don't want you to feel free. Wait, hang on. I own you, bitch. Okay.
Wait, Alyssa, I have a question for you though. Like,
okay.
Do you appreciate? Well, are you dating an air sign?
I'm dating a fire sign.
Has there been times where like you're just like, this is too much? Like I can't. Even with Lacey. I mean, like she's pretty much your wife. Like like.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
A lot of time I'm like, oh, I don't want to make him or anyone else uncomfortable. So I'm like, I'm just gonna calm down and I'll be here. And then he's like, well, why didn't you say something? I was like, well, I had a feeling you probably didn't want to do what I wanted to do. So
you don't want to be too much. We never want to be too much.
So you're asking if I have ever experienced too muchness from air signs?
Or like when do you want too much and when do you not? Like how often does that happen to you?
That's a fucking good question.
Yeah, it's a really good question because I'm very curious as well.
I feel like me specifically, I have a Leo moon. So I feel like I'm pretty compatible with air signs in that like wild energy because on the inside I feel like wild, like I feel like loud and like spontaneous and fun. So if I'm like comfortable, then I like love it. But then there is like the earth sign side of me that sometimes just needs to fucking relax. I feel like this is for me specifically, but maybe other earth signs feel this way too. But when I feel like burnt out, I just get like dead behind the eyes. I get like really irritable and like moody or snappy or like easily frustrated at something. And so like maybe in those times, instead of like trying to cheer them up and like go and do something fun and like get their mind off of it, sometimes they just need to relax and like chill out. And just like do some leisure activities, some self-care. Watch a movie.
I love that from you. I love when she tells me to chill out. I'm like, you're so right. I need that.
I mean, if you're an earth sign and you're like in a relationship or a friendship with a fire sign or an air sign and you feel like sometimes they're too much, let them know when you just want to relax. If they come to you with some exciting adventure they want to go on, just be like, I kind of wanted to watch a movie today, to be honest, or I kind of wanted to just like do a facial, a mask.
And odds are we'd probably be okay with that too.
Or
Yeah.
as an air and fire sign, they have plenty of other friends who probably want to go and do that with them.
Exactly.
So it's fine.
Exactly.
It's not like, just earth signs, let your friends know when you're tired.
Yeah, and my earth sign people do, and then I like have a lot of air friends and fire friends that I know that are down for whatever.
Yeah, and water signs too. I know you guys are sensitive and you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but like just let them know. Just let them know you just want to be in your feels today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost like when someone finally asks me like what I want to do, I get to the point where I'm just like, I actually could do anything. You know what? As long as we have good music in the car, I have aux, we're good to go.
As long as I have the aux, we're cool.
That feels like a Taurus Venus thing to me.
Yeah.
I've finally come to like, okay, Marissa, what do you want? But there's honestly a lot of times where that's when I get mad at myself, when I literally don't even know what I want to eat, let alone in life. It's like, I don't know if I want a number one, and like,
I'm like, I could really go for a chicken sandwich, but I could really go grilled today. But like, maybe I just want fries. But like, also, I think the chicken might be a good idea because like you need protein. Okay, but there's bread. Should I get it protein style or should I just fuck it? Let's just do the bread. That's when like I'm in drive-thrus and people are in the car with me and they're talking to me. I'm like, yes, I'm hearing you, but like, this is what's going on in my head right now.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I get so anxious, and like there'll be a point where I'll like the waiter comes around, and then they're just like, so what would you like to eat? And I'm like,
what do you recommend? I always end up asking the waiter what they recommend. I'm like, here's my top 3. What would you say is the best? And they're like, my favorite's the burger. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do the burger.
Yeah, I love when you're making the decision for me.
I have my big 3 are fixed placements.
Oh my God,
I know what the fuck I want to eat.
I actually do envy it a little bit because I'm like, I wish I knew. I really don't. I'm so, let's do it.
Sometimes I wish I was like that because if I always have my way and I always know exactly what I want, I also know that it's always going to be the same fucking shit that I want. And I need to sometimes be like, you know what? Just fucking take us somewhere.
See, there it is. That's why there's this earth and air like secret thing going on because air signs need this.
I thought that your arms were your legs for a second. I was like, what is she doing? Sorry.
Okay, anyways. That's the thing. It's like air signs need that stability and earth signs need that freeness, that spontaneous energy.
Yeah.
And that's why, I think that's why it's worked. It's worked for 4 years and it's still working. And so, at the end of the day, like how much do you love that person? So
you have to do that inner work. We were talking about this with Amber.
Yeah.
You have to do that inner work with yourself and make sure you're good.
And in my past relationships, I got to that point where I was like, why am I holding all of these sides of myself and just like I was keeping that like one face with that one person and everywhere I went, and I felt so disconnected to who I was.
Totally.
Because I was like, I don't get to be who like I really am, and that's when I had to, cut them off.
Walk away from that.
Yeah, totally. Like this isn't me. Like I'm not like this at all. And like even my friends were noticing it because they're used to seeing me in different lights and like all this stuff. So yeah, it wasn't about that energy.
And good for you.
Yeah. What a queen.
A queen. I feel like before we wrap up, we should also mention lastly, I mean, we did briefly through this conversation, but you're a musician and you release music and it's obviously like a huge part of who you are. It's your inner self, your Scorpio placement, your Gemini Mercury, like you have a lot of thoughts and you have a lot of emotion and you have to like express it. So that's probably like where you get your whole music side, but people should know how to listen to your music. So do you want to tell them how to listen, how to check you out, how to stay connected?
Yeah, how
Lacey,
plug yourself, queen.
The plug, bro.
Plug yourself.
No, 100%. My music is very empathetic and pure, and I've always taken pride in that. It's exactly who I am. If you can't find me on a personal day, just go listen to my music, and that's the consistency of who I am. My music is on all platforms, really. Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all that good stuff. Lacey's a big factor in my music career. She pushes me, and I love her. No, honestly, like if I have a question, I go to Lacey. She's just incredible. Big mentor. I know, I love her.
I love you. Okay, sorry.
Feelings, guys. Ew.
Anyways.
Yes, and I have a YouTube channel. I have vlogs. We usually put a lot of like my everyday stuff and how I make music and like things like this.
Yeah.
My YouTube channel is the one that's featured here, Marissa Lucia. Instagram is at the Marissa Lucia. TikTok is the Marissa Lucia as well. Honestly, I could do this all day. This is so fun.
Isn't it so fun?
No, you guys are so good at this. Like this is you guys. This is like your avenue.
Please hype us
up because we don't know.
Oh, okay. No, let me let you know.
Thank you so much, Marissa, for coming on our show.
Dude, thanks for the invite. This is so great. I love you guys, honestly. Keep this energy. Everyone needs to tune in.
And everyone go check out Marissa's music.
Yes, go check out her Instagram.
Check her Instagram.
She's having a natural coming out this week.
Ooh.
Sorry, not this week. Oh my God, this year.
Ooh, new shit alert.
2021.
2021 coming in hot. Marissa Lucia. We'll see you. We love you, Marissa. Thank you.
Love you.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, we love Marissa.
That was a good time. How crazy. Our first two guests are sister signs.
Oh my gosh. Should we continue the trend? Oh my gosh.
That's kind of a vibe, actually.
Should we do like a water or an earth sign next?
Mm-hmm.
And then do the sister sign of that after?
I'm down.
Let's fucking find a Pisces. We know a billion.
We'll talk about it. Okay, we have a couple questions. So since you have a Leo moon, someone asked us, why are Leos hopeless romantics?
I would probably say that Leos are hopeless romantics because they have really big hearts. You know, they're the lion.
Yeah.
That's the symbol. They are really protective over their pride, so to speak. And so they're really generous with the people that they love. And they're a fixed sign. So they, you know, once they are really in love with somebody, they're loyal to that person. And they want to give that person the world and they want to hype that person up. I feel like Leos are just hopeless romantics for that reason.
Yeah. Another good question we got was, what can a person with a crazy chart do to keep it stable around here? I know who this came from, and I know why they're asking. So a person with a crazy chart, it normally makes sense because they're kind of crazy. And I imagine it's really difficult to have certain placements. Certain placements are just really difficult to have. And if you got them, I'm sorry. I'm sure we all have one placement that we maybe wish could be a little bit different because we don't like those sides of ourselves. But I think we're going to get more into this as well, but there's like evolved and unevolved signs. So I feel like how you manifest those placements is really up to you. So I think like trying to get rid of the negative sides of your sign is the goal. Walking away from those and embracing the good side of them, the more mature side of it. If you have considered a crazy chart, you know, it's about finding the good qualities in those signs and really, you know, living in the evolved quality of them. But it's also about finding people that can match you and be on that level with you. And I mean, if it's causing people harm, the things you're doing, then don't do that. If it's illegal, don't do that. But if it's just typical like personality flaws, don't date someone who brings the crazy out in you. Date someone who brings the calm out in you. You know, things like that.
Yeah. If you want to stabilize your chart, just like work on all of the pros of a sign and figure out how to connect them to your morals and your values and things like that. And those are our questions.
We
answered those questions.
Yeah.
So if you have questions, like fucking DM us. Our DMs are open. And we
slide in, bitch.
Yeah, slide in with them astrology questions. We want to answer them. And we know that you guys have questions.
So ask them.
And you can do that at our Instagram.
At the Venus
At
Babies.
the Venus Babies. And while you're there sliding into our DMs about the questions, you can check out our IGTV segments that we have
every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
And you can click the link and go to our Spotify playlist and
Hey.
bop out to your signs playlist.
Yeah, we have a highlight reel. And that's kind of it. Just tune in every Friday if you want to.
Or even if you don't, because we
want the views. You know, just put us on mute and
just be
play
supportive.
Us. Yeah, like, you know, turn the volume all the way down, but let it play all the way through.
Okay, we love you. We'll see you next Friday.
We love you. Were you going like this?
Yes.
We love you. Yeah, I try to tell my mom's clients this all the time.
Yeah.
She's a Gemini and she just puts on this big old front. and everybody I meet who knows my mom is like, I love Sue Ann. Oh my God, I love her. And I'm like, well, you don't fucking know her. She's not her when she's around you.
Yeah.
I'm dead.